Yo, everyone, MFPallytime here. First things first, I'm not at my normal stream place. There's a new webcam. My lighting is a little lamp over here. I'm using a Blue Yeti for the first time in like 2 years. And I'm gonna try really hard to keep my voice down because I don't want to piss anybody off. You know what I'm saying? I only have one monitor to work with as well, so I have chat open on the tablet. But please bear with me if I don't read it as well as I normally do. And a lot of you complain already that I don't read it enough. But we have a new character in Heroes of the Storm today. Her name is Valeera. And she is... she does some pretty insane combo-based damage. She's based off of a Warcraft rogue. And first impressions, I have been playing around with her in try mode for about an hour. She wasn't available right when the PTR went up to buy, so I have not played her in an actual game, but her combo seems insanely strong, and I am going to show you one build that I came up with. This is her Demon Hunter skin, too. Really dope. All of her skins look really dope, actually. Anyway, so here's your warning. This is going to be a long, drawn-out, boring first look at the brand new hero to enter the Nexus, Valeera. If you are not interested in a long, boring video where we talk about all of her abilities and her talents, then this is your chance to leave right now. You have been warned. Let's turn this webcam off. Okay. Here we go, team. So she has, well, I guess 7 abilities on her bar at any given time. Kind of like Greymane, she essentially has 2 forms. So she's going to have a normal form here where she's out and about and she's going to be able to do stuff. And she's going to have a second state, which is when she's in stealth. And this is by using her trait. And then that gives her access to 3 different abilities. While she's in stealth, she can only choose one of these abilities. So there is a bit of decision-making incorporated with this particular part of the build. But still pretty cool. New sponsor, Rob Mitchell. Thank you for supporting the channel. She does not have mana. Instead, she has energy that she does have to manage too. And she also operates on a combo point system, which means that she is basically going to have to manage 2 different resources. One is going to be constantly recharging, which is her energy, and then the other resource is going to be the combo points that she has to accumulate by dealing damage to enemy heroes. She does not get combo points from dealing damage to minions. Now, her Q ability is Sinister Strike. This is a straight line skill shot with a pretty small range, but allows her to dash in a direction very similar to Tychus's Running Gun. But if we impact a target, it is going to deal damage and have its cooldown reduced to 1 second. So we can, that didn't actually impact. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. There we go. Impact, cooldown's reduced, and we can just do this quite a bit. It does have a pretty decent energy cost of 30, so I don't know if it's something you actually want to spam super often. But you are able to generate a decent amount of combo points. And what's cool about it is, you can reposition, right? So you can go in some auto attacks, you can use an eviscerate. Oh no, we need to move. But you can also use it offensively to just like slam into someone and then maybe choose another target and kind of zip around to them as well. So definitely has multiple uses. You can either use it for avoidance or for damage, and I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't go over walls or anything. And I do not believe there's a talent to change it to go over walls or anything. So pretty much that's what you're stuck with. Does she have 2k health at level 1? Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in try mode right now. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Definitely a good observation. I wasn't going to talk about her health specifically because I didn't know if this was right. Because 2k seems high. Let's see. We could set our level to 20 really quick, though. Now she has 4.2k. That seems really high. I mean, I guess it's intended because Malfurion, his health is scaling just fine, it looks like, but I don't know. Her W ability is Blade Flurry. You are going to deal damage to an area around you. At level 20, that's going to be 285 damage that she's going to be dealing around her. And this is also going to generate 1 combo point as well. This has a 4-second cooldown and is going to take 40 energy in order to pull off, which means that she has some lane clear. I mean, it's not a ton. It's definitely not a ton of lane clear. But you can go in and do that and then wait for a few seconds and then finish off the lane with another W. I mean, she's no Zul, you know what I'm saying? She's not a Dahaka, but at least she has some form of AoE lane clearing. Now, Eviscerate is what she uses to spend her combo points. It's on a 1-second cooldown, although I wouldn't really advise you to spam it every time it's off cooldown either. But you're going to Eviscerate an enemy, and you're going to deal increased damage based on how many combos you manage to accumulate. So if we... I'll go ahead and hit Arthas a little bit here. That didn't connect. Oh man, feels bad. I guess we could just hit the target dummy. It's a little bit more impactful if you actually hit Arthas though, because you can see his health move, or the target dummy just kind of doesn't. But pretty easy to get 3 combo points. Doesn't take that long. You cannot generate more than 3 combo points. You want to make sure that you're using Eviscerate to dump these off whenever you get 3. But it is going to deal 658 damage. If we go into Stealth, we gain access to 3 other abilities. On our Q, we get Ambush, which is just going to deal a high damage, basically stab to a single target. And this is going to generate 1 combo point, so we can come out of Stealth, ambush a target, and then go into the rest of our combo and have 3 combo points immediately ready to Eviscerate. So, again, I mentioned she was very combo-based, not off of just the fact that she builds combo points, but also you're very, very much incentivized to kind of flow your abilities together in order to get the highest damage output associated with that, if that makes sense. Then in Stealth, our W ability is Cheap Shot. This does significantly less damage than the Ambush, but it is going to allow us to do a 1.5 second stun. On this Arthas here, he's basically not going to get stunned because of his talents, but if we wanted to stun him, we could come up, we could do this, and then Eviscerate him down, and still deal a lot of damage, although not as much as if we were going to deal the Ambush. Now, the one that I think is the strongest is going to be Groat. Groat enemy dealing 164 damage instantly, and then an additional 384 over the next 7 seconds. And on top of that, you're going to silence them for 2 fucking seconds. So let's just go ahead and toggle off our ally hero here. We don't want anybody. And let's bring in a target that we would actually be likely to assassinate. Let's see, toggle enemy. Let's go with like a Li Ming or something. Li Ming is a great assassin because she has a very, very reliable escape on her E ability, right? So you can actually take that blink away from her and then just completely deal a ton of damage to her before she can really react. So we would want to Garrote right out of the gate. When she moves, I'm going to Q out. Okay, she's not fucking... But essentially, by silencing her as you come out of Stealth, you take her only escape away from her, which means she can't blink, which means you're basically going to be running as the same speed, and you're going to be able to chase her down significantly easier than most other assassins in the game can right now. That was when she can blink away. Basically, after I've done that whole combo, that's when she's not silenced anymore. And that's actually going to continue to deal damage as she runs away as well. And there's some talents in the talent tree that can, like, increase that damage potential of that damage over time that are pretty good looking. Pretty fucking good looking. Nate McFarland, thank you for supporting the channel. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm in a giant room. I'm on a blue Yeti. This is definitely not my normal setup, but I hope I'm coming through just fine. So that's all of her abilities. That's all of her base abilities. That took a little bit longer than normal just because she has so many. And again, she's very, 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 very combo focused. So if that's a playstyle you enjoy, then you will definitely enjoy Valeera. She can do a fuck ton of damage in the right situations. Usually before a target can actually react to it. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Can we see the dance? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here you go. I forgot. Yeah, I'm not too impressed by it, if I'm going to be totally honest. Not too impressed by it at all. All right, level 1. My overall feel about her talents is that they don't change much. These are just small, little, tiny additions to what she already has in her kit. And you may want to keep that in mind as we're looking at them. She's not going to be a drastically different hero at level 20, right? Your baseline is kind of the same right now as it will be later. She's not like Zeratul, who can evolve to be like a mage that's blinking all over the screen because of his talents. She pretty much just does this combo stuff all of the time. And she's very good at it, as you can see. That's insane damage. Insane damage. At level 1, we have Vigor. Valeera regenerates an additional 2 energy per second after gathering 20 regen globes. Increase Valeera's maximum energy to 120. Subtlety. After remaining vanished for at least 4 seconds, using ambush, cheap shot, or garrote causes Valeera to regenerate an additional 10 energy per second for 5 seconds. So essentially, if you sit in stealth for 4 seconds, you'll get all of your energy back. But what's important to mention is like you can open up, and that energy will regenerate pretty quickly as well. Combat readiness. Each combo point spent grants 50 physical armor against the next enemy hero basic attack, reducing its damage by 50%, and it will store up to 3 charges. So essentially, you go in with 3 combo points. If you use your combo spender, if you use Eviscerate, you're going to take less damage from the next 3 attacks. Definitely good in the right situation. And then Crippling Poison. Activate to cause Valeera's next instance of spell damage to slow enemy movement speed for 25% for 3 seconds. This does not break Vanish. Okay, so I tried this one out a little bit, and it doesn't seem bad. So we've already talked about the mentality. We need a new Leeming. This one's broken. We talked about the mentality of always going into combo and being able to silence a hero that would probably be trying to get away from you, and then deal significant damage to them. Now we can activate a slow on top of that. So we can open with Garrote, use our W, activate the slow, and use our Q, and basically Leeming is silenced and now can't run away either. Definitely good for securing kills. It allows Valeera to completely keep up with her target, no problem whatsoever, and is definitely a strong option at this level. Another one I wanted to show off really quick though would be the Subtlety. If we're in the stealth for more than 4 seconds, we get a massive amount of energy regeneration. You can see the bar down here at the bottom left entering the shadows. And now we're going to gain 50 energy over 5 seconds. So we can start our combo, and then you can see I'm a lot less energy starved than I was previously, which just means you can deal more damage during that time. As long as you have the time to actually set up for this. Now the point of Vanish is you can use it in combat. So if you wanted to reset and then re-enter battle with the increased energy regen, you could for sure, but that'd be 4 seconds you'd have to sit out in battle and like not really do anything. So I think this one's really good. I think that Subtlety is really, really good. It makes the character feel a lot more fluid because you're not as energy starved. And let's be honest, you're probably going to be in stealth most of the game anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But there is definitely a case to be made for the Crippling Poison as well. Oh, I have a squeaky chair again. It's making me really reminiscent of the old days. Relentless Strikes at level 4 reduces the energy cost of Sinister Strike by 10. Considering if you land this a lot, this will be your main spamming ability in combat. It may not be a bad idea. That may be a pretty good idea. Then we have Hemorrhage. Valeera's basic attack deals 25% increased damage to enemies affected by Garrote. Again, I mentioned that Garrote is my opener of choice because not only do you get a 2-second silence, which is crazy strong, but you get damage over time, which is really strong in this particular case as well. If we open with Garrote, we'll just get more damage as well. We'll basically get critical hits, which is pretty good. And it says to enemies affected by Garrote, so I'm assuming that means the damage over time effect associated with that ability. Now, I dodged that spell in stealth, but I actually couldn't open up on it because we wouldn't have had the energy regeneration there. Just something to keep in mind. Then we have Initiative. Ambush, Cheap Shot, and Garrote award 2 combo points. Now this one's really, really strong as well, just because it allows you to deal that burst damage a little bit faster. So let's show that off really quick. We start in stealth, obviously, as we always do. Now Garrote is going to give 2 combo points instead of 1, and then we can spam our W ability for the AoE, and immediately eviscerate for 3 combo points. Really good. And it does help with kind of the effect of being energy starved. But the only caveat here is, basically it's going to force you into stealthing very, very, very often. Because you're going to want to get those bonus combo points as much as possible to get the bonus of the... Oh, I messed up the combo there. To get the bonus of the build. Which isn't necessarily a problem, it's just something you need to be aware of. Every 8 seconds, even in the middle of team fights, you need to be dipping into stealth in order to not only get the energy regeneration back, but to generate more combo points from the E ability. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, team. Let's see. Then we also have the Wound Poison. This is another activatable ability. Activate to cause Valeera's next instance of spell damage to reduce the healing received by the victim by 50% for 4 seconds. This is essentially a Mortal Strike. Definitely good. Definitely really, really strong. But extremely situational. You would only really want to use this versus a Malfurion or maybe a Rhaegar with Ancestral, which, like, who uses Ancestral these days? You know what I'm saying? So if I had to pick one, I would say either Hemorrhage, and this is for later in the talent tree, or Initiative for those 2 extra combo points, which just kind of, again, makes the whole combo system of hers flow a little bit. It's so much damage. Oh my goodness. Then at level 7, we have Mutilate. Increases Sinister Strike damage, but reduces its range by 1. Now, reducing the range by 1 is not very... Can you stack poisons? Yes. So you could go for... let me show you how that works, actually, before we move on. That was a good question. Thank you for asking. Crippling Poison, Wound Poison is just activatable on your bar. It has a 15-second cooldown, which appears to be bugged. At least for the Crippling Poison, it was earlier. But yeah, you can activate both of these. They'll just sit on your weapon, and then when you attack... they'll be used up. But as you can see, these don't have a cooldown. You can just keep casting these. And I don't think that's intended. That was another thing in try mode that didn't seem to be quite right. These poisons that are supposed to have a 15-second cooldown simply don't have a 15-second cooldown. They appear to just always be active on my weapon right now. So there we go. They were just used up, and then we can reapply them. So, I mean, essentially you have a permanent slow on a target. It's also worth mentioning that the Crippling Poison would work pretty good with Executioner with other heroes if you wanted to combo that together. But again, this probably isn't working as intended. It is kind of... they're always off cooldown, and they shouldn't be. So, just putting that out there. Probably gonna get hotfixed real soon. Let's see. Moon was playing with the cooldown bug, and it's working outside of try mode. Well, great. Yeah, exploit the shit out of that while you can. Why not? I imagine it's gonna be hotfixed incredibly soon. Mutilate. Sinister Strike now hits with both blades, dealing 100% increased damage, but its range is reduced by 1. So this is your range normally. Let's stand right here on this grass, and we can move to this part. And this is your range without, or with the upgrade. So basically, you barely move at all. It's going to make it a lot harder to land, but you are going to get increased damage. So if you sneak up on someone, and I would probably say if you want to go for this kind of line of build, which I think is definitely going to be an option, you would want to open up with a stun to keep your target from moving, deal that bonus damage, deal that eviscerate damage, and then kind of work around that. So it would change your opener a little bit, but overall, not a ability I would recommend right now, I think. We can look at the other options really quick, though, as well. We have Fatal Finesse. Each time you hit Blade Flurry, which is your W ability, each time it damages a hero, its damage is increased by 3 up to 60. After damaging 20 heroes with Blade Flurry, permanently reduce its energy cost by 20. So it has a 40 energy cost right now. If you use this against heroes a lot, it's going to reduce the energy cost by quite a bit. Is that worth? Probably not. Doesn't seem very good. Doesn't seem very good at all. We have Slice and Dice. Eviscerating an enemy with 3 combo points causes Valeera her next 3 basic attacks to have their attack speed increased by 150%, and this lasts for 3 seconds. So this makes the combo we've been doing throughout the course of the game even better. So we can go in here. We've been in stealth for 4 seconds. We can open up on Leaping Now. And now we essentially just have increased attack speed and we can deal even more burst damage to her, as long as we save up those 3 combo points. The other option at this level range is Assassinate. An ambush deals 100% increased damage if there's no other enemies within 5... does it say just say 5? Within 5 range of the victim. That is not... What is 1 range? I don't understand. Not very descriptive, but to help you out in this particular scenario, there is a visual indicator as well. You can see Leaping now has the skull over her head, which indicates that she is indeed isolated, and we can deal the bonus ambush damage to her, which is a lot of fucking damage, by the way. Holy fucking shit. But it does require a target to be isolated, so it's not going to be usable all the time, but when it is, oh my god, you hit so hard. Like, so fucking hard. Actually, you know what? There's really no basis to tell how far 5 is. Fucking... And again, I have not played her in Quick Match. I've just been messing around in try mode for a while, coming up with various combos for talents and builds and stuff. So maybe Assassinate is a little bit more viable than I'm giving credit for, just because of the pure damage output associated with this target. And there's been plenty of times in a team fight that someone will just kind of split off on their own, and then, a Li Ming could be casting Disintegrate off on the edge of the screen, you know? That's very, very, very common. And it's probably likely that you can go in and deal that bonus damage with Assassinate, and it'd be really good. But that remains to be seen. For my testing, for what I've done so far, I've gotten the most... I didn't mean to refresh forward, it's my bad. Can I have my options back, please? Can I, thank you. For my testing, what I've liked the most so far is the Slice and Dice. Just getting the extra attack speed just kind of increases your damage a little bit more anyway, and it's pretty strong. At least I think so. With the increased energy regeneration when we're in stealth, we're going to be able to generate a lot of combos. So the uptime on this is going to be pretty good. It's going to increase our sustained damage quite a bit, and I think it's pretty strong. But again, Assassinate is definitely a contender here. I don't really like Total Finesse at all, but Mutilate is a contender here as well. You would just have to kind of change your opening combo a little bit more. At level 10, we do have Smoke Bomb. Usually I show you the heroic abilities early on. I apologize I didn't do that this time. But Smoke Bomb, you're going to create a cloud of smoke. While in the smoke, Valeera is unrevealable. So essentially you have an active stealth inside of this circle that drops at your feet. It doesn't matter where I am in this circle, the enemy team cannot see me to target me with basic attacks. That is huge. That is a really fucking big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off cooldowns. That is a 60-second cooldown. Oh, yeah, I can't. No, that's not what I wanted. Where is everything? Set game speed, toggle cooldowns. There we go. So this is obviously something that an enemy can move out of really, really easily, right? So it's not like they're incentivized to actually stay in here and like actually fight you. They're gonna move out of this circle. But you can also use that to your advantage as well. You can kind of zone them away. They can see you when you're in here, I'm pretty sure. I haven't actually seen another Valeera. Again, I haven't played her in a game yet because she was not available for a while. But not being able to be attacked in this is pretty huge. You're also going to take 25. Let's read the actual description on the talent, not the tooltip. You can pass through units, gaining 25 armor, which is going to reduce physical damage taken, and Valeera can continue to attack and use abilities without being revealed, and this is going to last for 5 seconds. Josh Smith, thank you for sponsoring the channel. I appreciate the support. So again, this is just increasing her survivability. She is going to be diving deep. She is going to be trying to take out, Malfurion. I selected no one, and here you are, fucking out here, going in, killing all. What is Abathur doing? I'm getting distracted. Okay. So as you open up on a target, this does make you immune to building shots as well, because of course buildings are, they count as basic attacks. So we could do our opener here, drop the cloud, and basically dive a target underneath a building really, really, really easily and secure a kill like that. We could use it in a backline to take out a Morales that's surrounded by your team, as long as we are able to disengage a moment later as well. Now, this lasts for 5 seconds. Keep in mind, you're going to have a 3-second window where you cannot vanish, and you're going to have to deal with your consequences. Now, you could just save your Q and kind of disengage a little bit during that time and then try to re-engage. But you need to keep that in mind. You definitely need to keep that in mind. Our other option at level 10 is going to be God damn it, I did the forts again. It's going to be a little bit more situational, but definitely can be insanely strong in the right situation. I have one particular thing in mind. I guess it's kind of out of meta now, but we have Cloak of Shadows. Valeera is enveloped in the Cloak of Shadows, which immediately removes all damage over time effects from her. That's not really the part I'm excited about, although that's obviously fantastic versus Gul'dans and Lunaras. For 1 second, she becomes unstoppable and gains 75% spell armor. I hate how they have to reiterate what spell armor and armor does every time. Essentially, this bitch doesn't take spell damage at all, and it's insane. But I was thinking of scenarios where you may find... fucking Avatar. He just stays in the base with his arms in the air. I was thinking of situations where you may find an ETC, because that 1 second of immunity, right? Let's go ahead and toggle cooldowns. If you have an ETC that's using Mosh Pit, you could give yourself 1 second immunity, go in and stun him with your W ability, interrupting the mosh, or silence him. I guess either would work. But it would allow you to actually completely dodge a stun coming in from him. Very reactive. This is basically the talent you keep to take care of yourself rather than going out to kill enemy players. But you can essentially, when you see crowd control incoming, you just pop this ability. All of a sudden, you're completely immune to that effect for 1 second, which in most cases is going to be enough to save you. And you can also enter stealth during that time and use your W or E ability to silence or interrupt something that may be happening. So very strong. A lot more situational, I think. In quick match where teams are very, very unorganized, I see Smoke Bomb definitely being the better pick here. But versus certain combos, Cloak of Shadows could be phenomenal. I just think in most cases, Smoke Bomb is going to be the way to go. Now, as we enter the final talent tiers, this is where we really start to see some build variety start to come into play. So we have Elusiveness increases Valeera's movement speed while vanished by an additional 10%. This can help with chasing kills, and this can help with just getting around the battlefield a little bit easier, kind of juking out of the way. Just a flat 10% movement speed increase. She is sitting at normal speed here. We know that mount speed is 130. I think if you pick that talent up, you're going to be moving at 100, but let's be sure. No, you're going to be moving at 120, so just a little bit slower than mount speed there, actually. A little bit faster than I thought it was going to be. But I mean, yeah, totally like preference at that point. I don't really think that's game changing or anything. Death from above. Ambush now has 5 range and teleports Valeera behind her victim. So obviously you would want to combo this with the assassinate, where you deal more damage to an isolated target, but it increases your range on your Q from this to this. Pretty sizable increase. And if you're teleporting behind your target, you're going to be able to dodge various spell effects that may be coming out from a Chromie or from a Li Ming, a Jaina. You can get behind them if you do it at the right time and completely dodge any effects that they may be sending out at you. Definitely an option here. My favorite one in this tier, however, is going to be... Actually, let's wait one more second. Blind. When Cheap Shot expires, the victim is blinded for 1.25 seconds. So after you stun them, they're going to be blinded as well. Again, kind of changing your opening combo a little bit, or at least what I think your opening combo should be. But it is going to reduce the damage that auto attackers can deal to you. Keep in mind, you're already reducing the damage they can deal to you with Smoke Bomb because you can't be targeted. And that's a big deal. But if you wanted to take it a little bit further and have a blind for 2.5 seconds, you definitely could pick that up here. Definitely not required, in my opinion, though. Definitely not. But then we have Strangle. Garrote reduces ability damage dealt by the victim by 25% for 7 fucking seconds. 7 fucking seconds. This means that you essentially could have this up on a target all of the time with appropriate positioning. Again, situational, like the blind, but 7 fucking seconds of reduced damage is devastating to a mage. Absolutely devastating. So, I mean, if you want to shut down a mage, you go for Strangle. I like Strangle a lot. The movement speed is fine for chasing kills. I definitely think you could get some use out of that. But Death from Above, actually, I changed my mind. I think Death from Above is probably the best one in the tier there. Or the passive movement speed. It's one of the two. I think with this build, yeah, I have like 3 builds in mind as we've been building this up. I think with this build, I would go for the movement speed. Just has a little bit more cohesion, I think. Then at level 16, we have Seal Fate, empowering Sinister Strike damage. Sinister Strike deals 50% additional damage and generates an additional combo point when used against silenced, rooted, or stunned enemy heroes. Now, of course, you can already apply your own silences, your own stuns, if you combo appropriately. So this is just a flat damage increase if you use it in the combo. And obviously, you would change your opener to involve the Q immediately after rather than the W. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely a good pickup, and has some synergy with her other talents as well. You could really increase the damage of this quite a bit. Then we have Rupture. Valeera's basic attack refreshes the damage over time of Garrote. This is my favorite in the tier, and I'll show how it works in just a moment. We have Exposed Armor. Eviscerate an enemy with 3 combo points, causing them to lose 25 armor for 2 seconds, increasing all damage taken by 25%. Essentially, you gain vulnerability. This is really good, too. I think Expose Armor and Rupture are the best in the tier. Or you can go for Thistle Tea to instantly drink and restore 100 energy. I mean, I guess that could. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really see the application for this. Hi, Ping Hero. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. Sorry if I missed any other ones. Yeah, having energy is nice, and having energy allows you to deal more damage. But we already have the tools in our kit necessary to kind of sustain our energy just fine. At least I think so. Why am I level 25? Oh. Why is she only level 20 then? Come on, what are you doing? Go away, Abifer. I don't want you. What the fuck? Let's see. So our build ends up looking a lot like this. With the vulnerability, we're going to be able to deal even fucking more damage to an enemy player as we come out of stealth. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane how much damage you can deal. And that's with a silence. We could also stun the target as well if we wanted to, pretty much ensuring that they cannot move out of it. Oh, unless I don't actually enter stealth. My bad. Still, we could just mess someone up. And it's worth mentioning that this is vulnerability on anything, right? Yeah, if you eviscerate an enemy with these combo points. So essentially, you could use this on PvE stuff too, although it will be difficult to actually get combo points to use against an immortal or something like that, because you only get combo points from heroes. But I mean, you could use it. And then at level 20, since we are already pretty good on damage, why don't we just increase it even more with Cold Blood? Activate to increase the damage of Valeera's next eviscerate by 100%, which increases our stealth combo to be just a stupid amount of damage. We would want to activate this while we're in stealth, so we go ahead and activate it prior to engaging. We're going to need to drop a smoke bomb in this particular occasion because we're in tower range, right? So this is what a dive would look like. Oh, come back! I was doing. Oh my god! just a fucked up amount of damage. That's not right. It's not even right. Absolute. Oh, you saw me. You think you're fancy, huh? Think you're fancy seeing me come out of stealth, huh? That eviscerate is hitting for 1,000 damage.
Resurrect quickly.
Like, oh my god. Oh my god. So this is the build I would recommend right out of the gate. It's nice and easy. It's not very complicated at all. Her other choices at this level range, we have Night Slayer, which is going to reduce the cooldown of Vanish by 3 seconds. We have Enveloping Shadows. Whenever Valeera uses Vanish, she also gains Cloak of Shadows, which obviously just makes you unstoppable all of the time, which would be really good, and you would basically be taking no damage from abilities every 8 seconds. That would last for only 1 second, but you could make yourself unstoppable all the time and outplay someone if you wanted to go down that route. And then Adrenaline Rush. While in the smoke bomb, Valeera regenerates an additional 30 energy per second. Again, with what we have in the build so far, I don't think we need to increase our energy regeneration anymore. Maybe you guys disagree with me, but I'm pretty cemented that I think this build is going to be really fucking good. I want to go in and I want to do the combo. So the combo right now, we start with Garrote to silence her so she can't blink away, right? And then you W, E, and then Q into her. That was without the Cold Blood bonus. With the Cold Blood bonus, it's basically, we're gonna global her. She won't even see it coming. Here we go. Absolutely fucking insane. I can't believe how insane that is. I really can't. I have a very strong feeling that's gonna get nerfed. At least a Chromie has to time all of her shit properly. I guess we could stun her instead out of stealth as well and probably have pretty similar success. Or just not go stealth at all. It would take a little bit longer to build up the Abyss. Well, there's a whole minion wave there too. I don't really know if that counts. Just so much fucking damage. So much damage. Now, again, we already talked about the fact that her other talents are kind of bugged. Crippling Poison just lets you use it all the time, right? This won't always be the case, but I did have a build in mind for this kind of a play style as well that I think could be pretty good. It would look a little bit like this. So instead of getting the vulnerability at level, what was that, 16? Yeah, instead of getting exposed armor, you would pick up... Well, let me walk you through the whole thing. We have Crippling Poison to slow our target down when we engage. We have Hemorrhage that's going to increase our basic attack damage by 25% as long as Garrote is active on a target. We have Slice and Dice just like before, Smoke Bomb just like before, Elusiveness just like before. And then Rupture, Valeera's basic attacks refresh the damage over time effect of Garrote, essentially allowing the damage over time effect to keep ticking for full value. So instead of it dealing however much damage it deals per tick. It's going to continue that damage, and then the duration is going to be increased again. And then we can couple that with the increased damage on the execute, making our combo look like this, which is still insanely fucking strong, right? But the health, the damage over time bonus is going to continue, and we're going to deal critical hits as long as this damage over time bonus is in play. And as you can obviously see, we can keep this up all the time. So I think this is going to be the build for killing immortals. I think this is going to be the build for dealing damage to like stationary targets that don't fucking move a lot, because it can be insanely effective, and it just gives you critical hits all the time. Really, really, really good. And then when you walk away, the target's still going to be taking that 57 damage per tick, and then we can just keep that going every time we auto attack. This build is insanely strong as well. I know I preluded that I really like the stealth one. I think this one's going to be just as good. It's actually hard to pick, mainly because all of her shit is way too strong as it is. Then we could take this a step further, and if we wanted to go for an ambush style build, we would want to go for the energy regeneration, more combo points in stealth, assassinate, smoke bomb, death from above, and then we would want to expose the target's armor, and then do cold-blooded. So the combo then would look something like this. On an isolated target, that is. Just insane. It's just so much damage. And there's no countering that. There is no countering that at all. Try it against a tank. Okay, the reason I've been doing this against Li Ming is going to be your target, right? Chromie's going to be your target. Morales is going to be your target. But if you want to see it versus a tank, I could definitely show that. Select enemy hero. We'll go for a... Dahaka is still crazy popular right now. Not a solo tank, but definitely a tank, right? We can all agree he's a pretty beefy warrior.
Good idea.
This is the ambush combo on a Dahaka. He probably won't go for anything too crazy for talents. Oh, he grabbed me with his tongue. No, motherfucker. It kind of ruined everything. Oh well. No matter. And then there's one more build I would recommend, which is focused a bit on the Q. This would... I think this is the weakest of them, because it takes a lot of the utility out of your Q ability, right? Being able to jump around every 1 second if you make contact is a pretty big thing. We're once again going to want to go for the energy regeneration or the crippling poison. It's kind of whatever. Again, crippling poison is bugged right now. It won't always be that good. But subtlety, and then we would start to go for reduced energy cost, and then a reduced range but increased damage into the spoke. Actually, for this one, I would probably go Cloak of Shadows, but it really doesn't matter at this point. We would want the movement speed bonus from stealth, I think. And then we would go for Seal Fate. Sinister Strike deals 50% additional damage and generates an additional combo point. So every time we Q, it's going to be 2 combo points. We can do this all the time, but the damage, the range of it is essentially nothing. So the idea is that we want to reduce the cooldown on Vanish so we can catch up to our targets more often, because this is 120% movement speed, because we really don't have our gap closer anymore, which is kind of a big deal. You know, kind of a big fucking deal that you don't have your gap closer. So we could just stealth here, silence them. Yeah, I don't really like this one as much. I did try a few talent combinations with this to try to make it work. Not too big of a fan. Not too big of a fan at all. So I gave you some solid choices. I would recommend either the Hemorrhage build or the Garrote build, or going for, let's see, or going for something along the lines of very focused on subtlety and moving around in stealth, and then dealing as much damage as possible with exposed armor and then cold blood. Those would be the two that I recommend. But, you know, this could all change tomorrow. You know, as I play the character a little bit more, we will obviously increase our understanding of the character a little bit more as well. Let's do the full combo. Toggle cooldowns. The cooldowns didn't actually toggle. There we go. So we want to activate our eviscerate damage bonus. Go in with the silence into a W. I think he broke me out of stealth. I don't like Tahaka. Tahaka was like the worst choice I could have done, I think. Anyway, you guys get the idea. She is going to be insanely good at taking down squishies on the back line and then getting out safely. That is completely her role. She is insanely good at it, as I've shown you over and over. I think I've said insane more in this video than I have in any of my other videos put together. And, oh man, this may make me not want to play Assassins anymore. If I don't get Valeera, because I really do feel like she's gonna get a ton of number one, contention, but also a ton of hate just because of how much damage she does in her fucking combo. Like, it's just ridiculous, But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my theory crafting video. We could turn the webcam back on for just a moment. Again, I'm not at home right now, so I'm sorry if the quality of this wasn't quite good. We didn't drop any frames, though, for 52 minutes. That's always a really good sign. I'm going to be streaming on the Squadron channel in a little under 2 hours, and we're going to be playing Valeera in the PTR as well. Could be good. Could be really good. You could tell the people who've never seen my theory crafting videos before, because they're like, are you not going to go into quick match? I don't understand. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. It helps me out a ton. I'm going to be streaming some more heroes tomorrow during the day before my Squadron streams start. And I'm going to have a second monitor so I can actually read chat a little bit fucking more. But thank you all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on a couple hours on the Squadron channel. Okay.